If you listen to my most recent podcast, you probably heard me talk about how I have Zach Wilson as my number one quarterback in this draft above Trevor Lawrence. And obviously, it's a controversial opinion. Obviously, I like both of these guys very much, but I want to make a video really breaking down exactly why I feel this way. While still making it clear that it's not an anti-Lawrence thing, it's a pro Zach Wilson thing. I have made full film studies on both of these two guys. If I remember, I'll put a link in the description for both of those videos. So definitely check that out. But this is going to be not a film study, more of just me explaining some stuff. And so let me just get into exactly. First, I'll give a breakdown on just sort of my basic evaluation without getting into too much detail. So, like for Zach Wilson, for his pros and cons, he has an incredible throwing motion. He makes these incredible off balance throws, where he's rolling out to his left, throwing to his right. We all saw the pro day. He makes those consistently in games, though. It's not just a pro day. I almost feel like the pro day is almost taking away from it because we've seen it on tape. His pocket presence, incredible. When there is pressure, people like to say, well, he wasn't under pressure that much. Well, when he was under pressure, he was incredible. So I think that's a silly argument. And he's just very consistent. I mean, when he makes these deep balls, it's not that he can do them. That's not the impressive part. It's the fact that he can do it consistently. His cons, there's not many cons for Zach Wilson. I would say his size, I'd like him to be a little bigger. He's not small. I would like to see him maybe, bulk up a little bit, but you can do that. You can eat a couple cheeseburgers a week during the, before the season. That's nothing I'm too concerned about. And I would say that he doesn't throw the fastest ball. Not to say it's slow, but just sometimes I'd like to see a little bit more zip on it. But again, it's very accurate. So to make a baseball comparison, he might be the pitcher that will only hit like 97, so still fast, just not like 100. But he hits his spot, and that matters way more than throwing 101 but being wild. For Trevor Lawrence, I have accurate as a pro because I would say that he is as a whole accurate. Like, again, he's capable of missing throws, but he's very accurate. I think that especially when he's hot, I've talked about this before, he'll just throw like 18 throws in a row that are just perfectly accurate. So he has a big arm and he's a great athlete. I mean, the arm talent is there for sure. And he's a great athlete as well. I could have also put in his pro 6'6", but again, I'm not really too concerned about size that much. It matters. Doesn't matter that much though. I care more about these other stuff. For cons, I have the one read quarterback thing. Everyone likes to talk about this with, Fields, but it's really much more true with Lawrence. That's not necessarily to say that like it's a bad thing because the first read is usually open, and it's not like I see him like struggling. It's just that the offense itself is more of a one read offense. So that's really a criticism of the offense preparing guys to go into the NFL than it is, anything else. So the offense does worry me just a little bit because basically he's been playing checkers. He's going to now have to play chess. But at the same time, it's not a big deal. The other con is he thinks he can make every throw. That one is a bit concerning to me. I do feel like that's a very real thing. But at the same time, I would say that, again, it's not the end of the world. I do think that that's something you can fix. But we have seen guys struggle to be able to fix that. Jameis Winston comes to mind. Sam Darnold. So, yes, he can usually make the throws. That's why he has that belief. But in the NFL, he's going to have to learn that you're going to have to take your spots a little bit better. But we've seen Baker Mayfield go through that. He learned the hard way in his first couple seasons, and now his third season, he's gotten much better. So definitely something you can get better at. Now I have this chart. So I love to make some charts. This is the chart. And what you see here is there's obviously three things. The middle row, that is obviously the category. So short accuracy, mid accuracy, deep accuracy, arm strength, pocket presence, throw on to run, and IQ. These were what I figured to be the most important factors when evaluating a quarterback that I could think of. I mean, some people could argue some other stuff as well, but I feel like this pretty much has just what I value. What you see on the left is I've weighted these categories. So, for example, I consider deep accuracy and mid accuracy to be more important than short accuracy. I consider football IQ to be the most important factor on here. And I've considered pocket presence to be pretty important as well. Arm strength and throw on the run matter. There's not as big of a deal. And then in the right, that's just who I think is better in those categories. So Trevor Lawrence won in short accuracy, mid accuracy, and arm strength. I gave Zach Wilson the deep accuracy. I also gave him pocket presence, his ability to throw on the run, and football IQ I gave to Wilson as well. Again, because like I mentioned, Trevor Lawrence does every now and then. He makes a throw that he shouldn't make. And honestly, I would say it's even more than every now and then. So if I gave him all the points just that I had put there, that would mean that Zach Wilson blew out Trevor Lawrence. But that's not really fair because obviously, the football IQ thing, I feel like you can't give Zach Wilson 10 of these points just because he has, I would say significantly better, but not incredibly better in that. And some of these things are very, close, like short range accuracy. That's very close. How could I give that, all 5 points to Lawrence? So I'm going to do it a little different. This is the chart that I'm really going to look at here. So again, I should mention, this is not a very scientific way of looking at it. This is just kind of just a way that I thought would go well towards showing you my thought process when giving Wilson over Lawrence. Usually I just sort of do the stuff in my head, but I'm writing it down and trying to make it as clear as possible. So what I did here was I kind of just went through and I decided to grade just not only how much do these categories matter, but then I used that to grade who would I give more points to per category. So for example, in mid accuracy, which is the biggest one, there was 7 total points that Lawrence could get since he won that category. I gave him 5 because I do consider him to be significantly better than Wilson in that category. Same thing with like football IQ at the bottom there. Zach Wilson gets 4 points over Trevor Lawrence, even though it's not like he's way better. He just, significantly better, I would say. You can definitely see a bit of a gap there. And to me, that's 4 points because the category is so important. I gave it 10 total points. So it's only 4 out of 10, but that's still a lot of points because of the category. So the final score here is Trevor Lawrence gets 8 and Zach Wilson gets 12, which I do feel is a lot more fair and a lot more accurate of a representation of how I feel about these guys. It is close, but I do feel like Wilson is definitively the number one option in my mind. So yeah, I mean, that's my thought process. And again, every time you make one of these things, people say, oh, you're doing it for clicks or whatever. But the reality is on YouTube, that's just not how it works. If you make a controversial opinion and people don't agree with it and think you're an idiot and they downvote you, then, click the thumbs down button, that actually hurts you. Like that doesn't get you more views, that gets you less views. What gets you more views tends to be a very popular opinion on YouTube. I think controversy sells in articles because then you have to actually click on it. But for YouTube, people usually just will hit the dislike button and log off if they don't like what they're seeing. So it's a silly thing in general. This is what I think. And I hopefully this video kind of helped you understand why I feel that way more if you were one of the people that were going crazy. I know plenty of you actually, at least if you didn't agree, said you can respect the opinion, which I think is, I appreciate that. And if you think Lawrence is better, like I get it. It comes down to what do you value? I value what I see in Wilson more. If you value what you see in Lawrence more, then cool. Like we just have different opinions on what we think makes a quarterback great. So that's what I think. And maybe you just disagree with my evaluation of Wilson as a whole, but I don't know. I feel like I've got my evaluations of both of them pretty well. But obviously I think that way because you have to think that way if you're going to, have a YouTube channel and make evaluations. So yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And again, let me know in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree? Am I crazy? Let me know if I'm crazy in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.